Today we're going to give you an update on the market here in the Raleigh-Durham area and what we're kind of seeing with our buyers on the ground, so stick around.
All right, today, like Cindy said, we're gonna be talking about the market right now. So we are filming this, what is today's date? May 15th?
Mid-May.
May 16th. Today is May 16th, 2023. So if you're watching this a year from now, it's not applicable.
Yeah.
Or even 3 months, probably not applicable. But right now, the market has heated up significantly in the last, I would say, month and a half or so. Multiple offers are, again, the norm. Sometimes it feels almost like it's 2021 again. And we're gonna get into the reasons of why it feels like that. There's one specific data point that I think is the reason for that. But just know the market right now is extremely competitive. Over asking is the norm. High due diligence amounts are back. It's hyper competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this time so the data points we're talking about are released from our local MLS. These are not made up numbers. We take them from our MLS's sheet. So you can also find those on Google. But anyways, we're going to be using the report they just released is from April closing. So this does not include things in May. We'll talk about what we're seeing in May, but those numbers are not released yet. So this is April data from 2023, and we're going to be comparing it to March's data. So, you know, overall, we have this metric called percentage of list price received. So like if a home was listed for $400,000, did it get $400,000? That would be 100% of the list price received. So back in 2021, we would see like 101%, 102% as like a common average. But this year, like towards the end of last year, things kind of cooled down just a little bit. And then even into January and February, and then in March, things started to heat up. And then April's when we're really starting to see some of those numbers come to fruition to kind of back up what we've been thinking with our boots on the ground. But that number was about 96%. And in just 1 month of time in April, that shot up to 98%. So I would not be surprised if May's numbers are back to 99 or 100, to be honest. That's how I feel.
I would imagine May's numbers will be 100, at least 100%.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to find out. But yeah, so what that means is we can tell the bidding wars are back because we're seeing people have to offer more for these homes. And that's an average. So that's going to include fixer-uppers and new construction. That's perfect, right? So just keep that in mind when you're listening to all these data points, all averages.
All right, so why is the competitive market back? Because with high interest rates, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's all driven by inventory levels. So right now, it's actually really fascinating. So our month's worth of supply, so how many homes are on the market, is actually higher than it was last year, but not all of those are desirable homes. And so it's kind of getting bogged up with that. The interesting data point is new listings hitting the market. So that's how many listings are hitting the market for a particular month. In April, it was at the lowest point it has been since late 2016, which is crazy. So what that number tells us is there's not enough listings hitting the market for the demand. And that's also interest rate driven, because you have a lot of sellers. Maybe they want to downsize, maybe they want to upsize, but they're sitting on a 2.5–3% interest rate. And if they do that, they're going to get an interest rate in the high sixes. And so they're staying put. That inventory reduction is making the market hyper competitive right now.
Yeah, for sure. So since you have that, you know, I feel like most of our inventory that we're seeing, you know, people are always going to have to move. So there still are sellers selling their homes, but there's definitely so many people flocking to this area that it just makes it really competitive, or people have to move into new construction where there's not someone having to move out of the house, you know, so the resale market is like incredibly competitive.
And another data point, closed sales. So how many homes closed in April was the lowest point since pre-pandemic levels. And so, you know, that's just another story of low inventory levels. Low inventory leads to low closings. And so, all this competitiveness that we're seeing right now is driven by supply demand. There's not enough supply for the demand. And even though interest rates are high, there's still enough buyers who are willing to deal with those high interest rates that it's making the market really competitive.
For sure, yeah. And like back even in January and February, you know, we might could help someone find a home and get it under contract for the listed price, or maybe even slightly
even,
below,
maybe
like
even below.
some negotiation room. And then I was thinking, I was like, I think this is gonna heat up. And then, it did. So people got used to those high interest rates and they're entering back in the market. And this is just the season for thinking about a move. You might have kids in school, so moving like late spring, summer is ideal because you don't want to switch school districts and things like that. So, there's some seasonality to things picking up, but I also think people are just, the interest rates are what they are. They're not under this impression that in a month from now they're going to be 3%. I think people are like stomaching that they are what they are, and they're ready to just move forward and stick with that and be okay with it. So that does change things, and even just we've just seen it on the ground so much. Like I feel like in the last 4 weeks, I don't think we've put in an offer for anybody that was not a bidding war. Where there was multiple offers involved.
Over asking.
And I mean, some of these were beautiful new homes and some were kind of basic older. It just doesn't seem like it matters. We've had listings that were in need of a lot of cosmetic updating and they still received multiple offers. So there's we haven't really seen one that hasn't become a multiple offer situation. And when they become multiple offer, that means we're going to be going above the listed price. All right, and today we're going to add a new segment to our videos to conclude them called What He Says, What She Says. We'll give our maybe similar opinions, maybe differing. Okay. So Zach will give his opinion on the market. Is this a good time to buy? Is it not? And then I'll give mine.
One of the questions we get, is it a good time to buy right now? And honestly, I mean, I think it is. You have the worst of the worst right now. You have high interest rates and you have a hyper competitive market. I just don't know how you can spend that to make that into a great time to buy. The asterisk on that is sometimes because of your life situation, it makes sense to buy, even if it's not a great time to buy. But I mean, high interest rates, hyper competitive, it is a tough market. That's how I will answer that.
And for me, I would say, I have similar thoughts to Zach. Obviously, in a financial, compared to this time 5 years ago, it's not a great time to buy, right? But is it going to be better to buy now or next year? I don't know. I think this area is in demand. We have not seen like massive reductions in price in years. Like I think people are going to continue flocking. I think inventory is going to continue to be low. So it could be cheaper to buy right now than it is 6 months from now. And like Zach said, the right time to buy is when you need to have a house to live in. So if the house is perfect for you and your family, then I think it's the right time to buy it. I mean, I think you have to stomach it. It's not going to be cheaper to rent, most likely, from a month-to-month standpoint. The average rents are also really high in the area. So
especially for a family. Yeah,
for a family. If you need 4 bedrooms, like renting a home is going to be incredibly expensive. It might be cheaper from a monthly basis to buy. You have maybe more money up front with bidding war, down payment, things of that nature. But I think in general, maybe a wiser way to spend your money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that concludes our apparently new segment of He Said, She Said. So thanks for watching today's video. We have other videos on the area, so feel free to check those out. I'm Zach. This is my beautiful wife, Cindy. We're a couple real estate agents in the area. If you're looking to buy or sell in the area, we would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can find our contact information below. You can also find us on Instagram. Yeah, we'd love to have you follow along with us on Instagram at The Honeycut Realtors, and we look forward to connecting with you. Yep. We'll talk soon. Bye. Okay, and then we're gonna What He Says, What She Says. And then it can have a little jingle. No, no, it doesn't have a jingle. Add a jingle, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye. I don't know why I said bye. I don't either.